Shish Barak is a famous Lebanese meat dumpling that is good for all seasons. Instead of water, it is cooked in a creamy yogurt sauce that is seasoned with garlic and cilantro. It can be eaten by itself, but it's usually eaten with a side of Lebanese rice. First, I'm going to start to prepare the filling for the dumpling. I'm going to saute one onion until tender. When the onion is lightly yellow in color, I'm going to add 1 pound ground beef. Break the meat apart and cook with the onions on medium heat until the meat is no longer pink. When the meat is cooked, add salt to taste, cinnamon, and allspice. Stir everything together. Then turn the heat off and add 1 bunch chopped parsley. Give it a quick stir. Then cover the pan and put it aside until the filling cools down. To make the dough, we need 3 cups all-purpose flour, a little salt, baking powder, 4 tablespoons oil. Mix the ingredients together on low for a few minutes. You can also knead the dough by hand instead. Add about 1 cup and quarter warm water. Gradually add the water until the dough is formed. Our dough is done. It's so soft. I will brush the top with oil, then cover it and let it rest for about 20 minutes. To make the dumpling, we're going to cut the dough into 4 equal pieces. Then shape each piece into a ball. Take 1 piece of pastry, flatten it out by hand, and then roll it out into a circle. Make sure not to make it too thin, otherwise it's going to break when we start putting the filling. I'm going to use this ravioli mold to shape out the dumplings. Flour the mold before use to avoid sticking. Carefully place the dough sheet on the mold. Adjust the dough edges. Put a half teaspoon of the filling in each pocket. Press down on the filling with the back of the spoon or with your fingers. When done filling all the pockets, sprinkle the dough with a little bit more flour to absorb any moisture from the filling. Place a second layer of dough sheet on top of the first. Sprinkle some flour on top of the dough and start rolling out the dough. Sprinkle more flour whenever needed to make rolling out the dough easier. Remove excess dough on the edges. You can still use them to make more dumplings. Now turn the form over. Sprinkle a little bit flour. Shake it or gently tap it, and the dumplings should come right off. For this recipe, we need about 100 dumplings or shish barak. Using this mold, I would get 50 pieces of dumpling at a time. It does save more time than shaping them by hand. Any leftover dumplings could be frozen for later use. When finished shaping all the dumplings, we're going to bake them for 4 minutes at 350 degrees. This is what our dumplings look like after baking. We don't want to brown the top, we need them half baked. This way our dumplings won't expand a lot when we put them in the yogurt sauce and would maintain their shape. When the dumplings cool down, you can put them in a bowl. At this step, you can freeze your dumpling to use them for later, or you can put them in the fridge and get them out whenever you're ready to put them in the yogurt sauce. Frozen dumplings don't need to be thawed before using. For the yogurt sauce, we need 4 pounds whole fat yogurt, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, half teaspoon salt, and about 4 cups and a half water. Using a hand mixer, mix the ingredients together for about 3 minutes. Transfer the yogurt mixture to a pot and turn the heat on medium. Add 1 egg yolk to the yogurt. This would help thicken up the sauce and give it a great taste. Now keep whisking the yogurt sauce for about 20 minutes until it reaches a boiling point. Make sure not to stop stirring, otherwise your yogurt is gonna curdle. When the yogurt starts boiling, put the heat on low and whisk it every now and then. And let it cook uncovered for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm going to add the shish barak that I made yesterday to the yogurt sauce. You can put the heat up to medium-low and let the shish barak cook for about 10 minutes. Carefully stir the dumplings as we don't want them to open up. In the meantime, I'm going to toast some pine nuts for garnish. When pine nuts get to this color, remove them and put them aside. In the same pan, add 1 tablespoon ghee or butter. Add 6 cloves crushed garlic. Stir them for 1 minute, then add 1 bunch crushed cilantro. Mix the cilantro and garlic for a few minutes, just until the cilantro is tender. I'm going to add this mixture to the yogurt to make it more flavorful. Season it with a little bit salt. The shish barak has been cooking for about 12 minutes. I'm going to add the garlic and cilantro to the yogurt sauce. Give it a quick stir and turn the heat off. Once you turn it off, you should directly transfer it to a serving dish to stop the cooking process. Finally, decorate your dish with the toasted pine nuts. Even though it includes few steps and takes a little bit time, but it's really worth it and it does make the perfect holiday dish. I like to serve it with a side of Lebanese rice, but you can have it by itself. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.